my life.
It's all over my life.
Oh,
So why should I fear when the evidence is here? Why should I fear? The evidence is here.
All righty, everybody. Let's start gathering together. Gather up, gather up. It really is. Oh, I am still on. Okay. That. You guys, what is going on in football right now? There's all kinds of crazy stuff happening. The Niners are going. They're going. They're not even my team. But that was just so crazy. Jeff, did you see that? That was insane. The Packers should have whooped them, and they did not. They did not. Even in the weather. It's like, come on, dude. But the Niners are just, I don't know, it's just crazy. If you're a Packers fan, I am so sorry for you. You must be mourning right now. I felt so bad when they lost. Yeesh. Oof. So I've been waiting to talk for so long about this new year and transition and all that stuff. I've been wanting to talk about it for so long. Thank you so much, by the way, for Kim and Matt and Jordan and for all of those, yes, who step in that gap and teach from here. I absolutely respect it because there's nothing sometimes more terrifying than, one, speaking in front of people, and two, speaking about or teaching biblical stuff from here while everybody's judging what you're saying and what you're doing. Because there's some things you say on accident that you don't mean to say. You pronounce something wrong or something like that, and people are zeroed in, man. So thank you guys so much for that. So I wanted to talk about transition, and I thought an amazing book to talk about that would be the book of Joshua. Because there's just so much transition with Joshua, and I feel like it's a perfect reality for 2022, or for any New Year's fantastical hopes, dreams, and all sides of rainbows and unicorns. I am hoping that this is one of those books that really keeps us grounded. Speaking for myself, Joshua slaps me right off all those presumptuous prosperity gospels or idealistic cloud nines that I tend to hop onto during this time. Let's just forget that ever happened, and we'll just hop on this very idealistic part, and I'll just stay there for a little bit. That all being said, we might go through the entire book. We might go through chunks of it. We might stay here for a couple of weeks. I haven't decided, and Jesus hasn't really said, you're going to talk about this all the way through. So I'm not sure what we're going to do. What I have been feeling, though, is somewhat of a tailwind that started picking up right after I got punched in the face by my little head-on collision that happened. If you don't know that, I recently got in an accident at the first week of December. I had my kiddos with me, Riley and Gavin. Grace was not in there. Thank you for not being in there. You really helped us out taking care of Nurse for Health. It's a crazy experience when, there wasn't any gnarly mortality thing that happened, but when you are in that situation, there are always things that pop up in your mind that could be like, that could have been a lot worse. Or you're just driving along and all of a sudden just something crazy happens out of nowhere, and then you're faced with, we're not guaranteed the next moment of our life. We're just not. And neither are our children with us. And so it was crazy. It was perspective shifting, and you ask yourself a lot of interesting questions that you don't usually ask when mortality is not really an issue. Anyways, let's turn to the book of Joshua. We're just going to read starting in verse 1. So the cool thing is you just have to turn into the book. So for me, again, Joshua is an incredible example of transition. Not only that, but the transition in this book is an extreme undertaking of what happened in Joshua. This is coincidentally something that can be likened to our own recent transition, right, to the new year. It can be likened to the transition from changing our church's name from the Harvest Lands, which we've had for 30 plus years, to Parallel Church. It can be likened to new attitudes or perspectives when you are faced with your own mortality or the mortality of loved ones. I will promise to all of us today that I will do my best. This isn't a whole guarantee, but I will do my best not to make it out that I am Joshua and you are Israel. I will also promise and do my best to not use the book of Joshua as a tool of manipulation for my own selfish desires of transition. Because the biggest thing that I want to get out of this, the biggest thing that I want all of us to get out of this book, and just Joshua in general, is the heart and desire that Joshua had to honor and obey God in everything that he did, no matter the transition. Because this man Joshua found himself in so many transitions. From the book of Exodus through Deuteronomy, he's spread out there in a couple parts. In the book, of course, of Joshua, there's a lot of it is about Joshua. But we're talking about a man who was there when Israel was enslaved in Egypt, when Moses took over, led the charge out of the grip of Pharaoh into the wilderness.